Okay, I've got a meeting here in 10 minutes, so let's see if I can do this real quick. Ear video, yeah? Okay. I got a, you don't have to do this part, right? 'Cause you should already have kind of this idea of a modeled head so far. But okay, so where's it at? There we go. Smooth. I'm just going to smooth it out and get like a face-ish type deal. Like a head. There we go. Yeah, head. That works. Let's get rid of the grid. That's distracting. Smooth it again. Just to give myself some more divisions to work with. That's too many. Maybe we'll come back here. Okay, cool. So I want to do ear. Like I had this. This is a lot of space between. Also, sides of the head are pretty flat and planar, right? Just bring those in. Cool. So this is a lot of space for an ear. Like obviously, that's a big ear, right? So I'm going to extrude these in and I'll offset them in. And also kind of scale them in just a bit. So what I've done with that extrusion, right, made a loop. Cool. And essentially, this is what you should have. Yours may be a lot more complex than mine, but if you've already started your ear, I would recommend just deleting it, working in a loop to your geometry, and then extruding in some faces that we can work with. Because I can make these really slender. Maybe I don't want to make them too slender because I really don't want stretched faces like this, right? But somewhere around here. We'll pull it out. Cool. And I can even make this even a little bit more slender. And ears, we can push back. Okay. Cool. And now it's going to be kind of, let's go into the multi-cut tool and add us some extra geometry here. That way I can, stupid text, it's like these. That way I can, start rounding this ear up and shaping it whatever I'd like it to look like, right? Again, I'm working symmetrically with symmetry on, so I've got this ear going on, bringing that in. This middle edge too, if you've got those faces like I had there a second ago, you should be able to kind of like scale out and just kind of pull out to give a little bit more roundness, yeah? Okay, cool. Almost there. But now we want to insert faces and kind of push in. So first off, let's offset these in so that we have something to work with. And then let's do the same thing here with just these faces. And what I'm trying to get at here is, and maybe even like scale these down, here we go, is just that way I can have like this ring around a little bit of a lip there, right? So when I push it in, I've got that, like a cartoony, very cartoony stylized ear. Got a good example I'm going to show you real quick of kind of what I'm trying to match it up to. But yeah, essentially that's kind of like a really quick cartoon ear, right? Very, very stylized, very large too. Like I could pull all of this stuff in, topology wise. I can just move all of the. In fact, let's just scale it all in, and very specifically, I'm talking about these outer edges. Add to that selection. Ooh, I wonder if that face is. We'll find out here in a second. But I can just scale all this stuff down, right, and pull it forward so it still matches with that one part of the ear. Whoops. So it's just a smaller ear, right? Not as large as I had it, right? Let's go back to what it was, though, and then I can shape this stuff up further. I could select these and push them in. Let's also figure out real quick, what's this? What is this? What is that? Oh, it's this side of it. Okay, cool. So it's just, I've got some intersecting vertices and faces here. Real quick. Sorry. No, this isn't the super helpful part of the video. Oh my god, I selected the wrong face. The super helpful part is just me just goofing around trying to figure out like what the heck is this vertex? That kind of stuff. But I ain't worried about it. Okay, I'm done. Ear. Simple, quick, easy, stylized ear, and we could still push this stuff, right? If we so choose. Like I could select these faces and scale them up. Sometimes I like to go to component mode, because take a look at that, right? I'm at an angle. Holding R, I can go to object mode and go to world mode, or I can go to component mode. And component mode, based off of your selection, will go off the normals of the faces. And if I scale them up, I'm not like scaling at an odd angle, right? I am scaling at, and I could just do 2 axes and scaling kind of at the same angle as those. And I could scale these up. Move it in. Same thing here, component mode. And there we go. I can move on that plane. And, you know, it's not quite working because I'm starting to overlap some of these edges and faces, but I'm going to select this, isolate it so I can go in here and select this vertex and just pull it out. So it's not overlapping, right? It's still, we got a lot of stretching going on here, but you know, not the end of the world by any means. A couple more things we can do to shape this up a little bit more if we wanted to. I could go up here to my sculpting tools. I could start smoothing this stuff out. Right, so if I wanted to just help give that a little bit more of a smoother shape, a smoother transition in this area, I would also probably want to start adding just a little bit more geometry, a little bit more edge loops in here if I want to do what I'm doing right now. Something else I like to do is this little sculpting tool, inflate an area on a surface, the blob thing. You know, we can just give it a little bit of thickness, you know, just to kind of help out that very cartoony looking shape, right? And again, that's in Subdivide Preview. This is what it looks like. Again, this is very simple geometry, very low poly, nothing too crazy. Kind of got monkey ears going on. Oh, anyway, ears in a nutshell, really quickly. I got to go to this meeting here in 5 minutes. I got the video done in 5 minutes. Look at me. Bada boom, bada boom, right? Cool. I hope that helps anybody looking to make some simple ears. The inspiration for which, hold on real quick, Pixar face topology. If you Google that, there is a screenshot. It's not that first video that pops up. I don't like that face topology. I don't much care for that video. It's decent face topology. I know I'm not sharing that screen. I apologize. There we go. Not this video that pops up, but this screenshot particularly is kind of what inspired me to kind of like pursue this. And they go even more complex with this. Oh, come on. Pull this up. There we go. They go more complex with this with like things like splitting edges open, right? So that's one edge loop that gets split. So this is technically a triangle somewhere in here, but it splits open and you can hold that hard edge. Just to show that real quick since I got a little bit of time. Let's just talk about that. So I'll go to edge mode. I'll double click. It's not wanting to select that entire loop. So I'll just shift and add to that selection. Oh, this is even after I smooth. Hold on, let me backstep so that it kind of gets back to what I had earlier. That way I know what I'm looking at and what angles everything is. There we go. Cool. So let's just select this loop out here like they did in that. And what I'm trying to recreate is this edge loop here. And the reason I have the two edge loops next to each other is to hold that shape a little bit better, right? To make that a little bit more a hard edge. So without it, very smooth edge. With it, very hard edge that we can control, right? We do introduce an n-gon or a triangle, depending on what your method is here. Would prefer n-gons, or sorry, would prefer triangles over n-gons. So I'm going to target weld these two vertices together up here and down here to avoid that n-gon. Be this one here, I believe. Maybe. Well, let's see. No, it'd be this one. Yeah, there we go. This one's this edge. It's poking through, which I think is for you. Wait, it's for something. It's just throwing me off really hard. I don't know what that's for. There we go, found it. Sorry, I know I'm like hard focus on that. Okay, stop. Okay, pull my brain back out. So if you wanted a hard edge there, you can do that. I'm going to do that in a couple different locations, like here on this little thing as well. We can do the same thing here. I'm going to select this edge loop. Bevel that out, and there you see it introduces a triangle, or I could go up in a segment and it'll introduce a couple triangles, right? But it's going to help hold that hard edge, right? Now that's very mechanical looking. I don't much care for that, and you know you can see they didn't even do that there with that particular angle. So let me get rid of that. But it does look like they did something similar below it, but instead of like beveling it out, it kind of looks like they just have an extra edge loop kind of going around in this direction. Anyway, that could be fun to kind of recreate exactly, but I was just like, I don't want to do it exactly. I think, you know, just having this idea of the outer ring with a loop on the inside, an indent, which is what I'm hovering over here with the cursor, right? And then the outside. Okay, cool. Gotta go to this meeting. Hope that helps people make some decent looking ears. I know these are still kind of goofy, but again, like I was saying, you can play around with some of these sculpting tools to help them out. Also, take a look at that real quick. I can no longer sculpt because I have indeed introduced triangles. Before you start introducing hard edges like that, definitely sculpt this up to kind of the shape that you want. There we go. So because these sculpting tools don't want to work with n-gons or triangles. Okay, mine literally won't let you. So if you really want a boxer's ear, right? And then we can go in here and oh, we can do the opposite of this tool. If I hold control, we're doing the opposite of it. So you really poof up these parts and push in these parts. This is kind of getting a little wonky, but we could play around with it, right? Yeah, we can play around with the design of everything. Okay, cool. All right. I hope that helps make some simple ears. And you can even lower this stuff too. Right? It doesn't have to be exactly as tall as I have it. There we go. Maybe deselect you and pull all this down. All right, so it sits a little bit more at the bottom. And then losing some shape down here, let's go to that blob tool. Blob it up. Thicken this area up a little bit. I'm now late to that meeting. Fare thee well.